My name is Marilyn Hudson, and I'm the administrator here at the Three Affiliated Tribes Museum in Newtown, North Dakota. The idea for the museum came about shortly after the Garrison Dam. You could almost have called it a refugee town at the time that Newtown was began. There were people from the flooded village of Saanich. There were people from the flooded village of Van Hook. There were at least 7 communities. With this unlikely beginning of people thrown together arose the idea of a museum. It just so happened that a lady by the name of Helen Goff, a member of our tribe, a lady of Arikara descent, she looks around her and she sees, a lot of things being lost, a lot of tradition being lost, a lot of memories being lost, a lot of physical facilities actually being lost under the waters of the Garrison Reservoir. There's a spirit of vision, and she thinks, maybe something should be done to preserve what's left of our culture, what's left of our heritage. In addition to leaving the funds from her estate, she donated a lot of her personal belongings. We have a case in the museum here that has some of her clothing items, some of the beadwork, and so forth. The museum opened its doors in 1964. Helen Goff did not live to see the museum completed. She passed away before the museum was fully constructed. With the items that we have, we try to tell a story. We try to tie in, the historical significance of that exhibit. Almost without exception, everything in this museum has been donated. The museum has never had the budget to purchase any items. So almost everything here is from the people of Fort Berthold and other people that maybe as children lived here, maybe their family acquired a pipe bag or maybe a pair of moccasins. And in their older years, they say, this item really should go home. And they bring it back to the area. We try to label things, so that people see there is a story. This shirt did belong to somebody. This pipe bag belonged to this gentleman. This is who made it. He gave it to so-and-so at a certain event. Why did he give it to this person? Because that's a custom, it's a gift. So you try to take an exhibit and make it lively. You try to put some life in it. A lot of times the people that live here, this is their heritage. It's an everyday thing for them. But it's the visitors coming from Massachusetts or New York City or Los Gatos, California, like we had yesterday, and they're interested in the history of the Indian people. I had a call from a lady from Chicago planning a trip to this area, and she was like, what will I see there if I come there? I said, well, we have the Four Bears Lodge and Casino, we have the Missouri River, we have some reconstructed earth lodges. You would probably see Reunion Point. That's where the captains were reunited. It's just right outside our door. We don't have a lot of built-up attractions, but we have the native land, we have the trees, we have the hills. We have things that would be pretty much the same hills, the same prairie, the same trees, the same birds that Lewis and Clark observed. And I mentioned the young people that today that have a totally different way of life. They're more technology oriented, and I think museums have to change to meet that demographics of our society. There will come a time when they will be ready to learn more about their ancestors. What was it like to live on the plains here 200 years ago? What was it like when Lewis and Clark came through? What did my great-great-great-grandparents, how did they live? And there will come a time when there will be an interest. But I think that eventually every young person will reach that point when they will want to know. And they will be glad then that there is a facility like the museum where they can go and learn about it.
This program is funded by Native American Public Telecommunications and by the members of Prairie Public.